Hi, so I'm doing a second morning video today. Very unlike me. Well, no, not really. Sometimes things come into my mind. But this one is the answer to a question from Karen Martinez. I don't know when you asked that question because sometimes things don't come up till I scroll underneath a particular video. I'm not always notified and I do apologize. The other thing I'd like to apologize for is I always love to do a little emoji after I answer a question, but my phone is so messed up. Going over to the kids today and going to have them open my phone because I haven't got a clue how to do the open the phone. No, I don't know how. And I think they gave a little key that I don't know. I don't want to touch it. So I'll let Michael or Maggie do that for me. How did I end up in Florida? Wow, that goes way back into the late 80s, early 90s. My mom had a friend who went to Florida. They had a home in Rye, New Hampshire, and they had a home in Bradenton, Florida. And we were just getting started flea marketing. And we were doing small peas flea markets. We had been home and office cleaners for a long time, but Dennis is back and all my issues. And then, I had problems back then with my back, with sinus issues, with my wrists, and he had a very bad back from a fall as a lineman. So, not that antiques were any better. It was very trying when we'd get big trunks and things like that, and we have to lift and all the boxes full of goods. But nonetheless, we worked for ourselves, and it just was more pleasant than cleaning. And he loved the art of the deal. He loved finding the stuff. He loved talking his way into barns, into houses, into that top dresser drawer. He was charismatic and well liked. So this couple that were friends of my mother's said, "You should go to Bradenton in Sarasota, Florida. There's so many flea markets down there." We were like, yeah, maybe we should. So we decided to go investigate because Dennis just loved a trip. Road trip, that was always a joke we had whenever we were, distressed over family matters or what have you. He took me on 3 road trips across the country in 2 years. He's a crazy guy. He also, on my request, took me all the way to Alaska for whatever bizarre reason. I was going to be the wilderness family. I think I mentioned that before. But back to Florida. Oh my goodness. My mind is a raging torrent. So, I had a cousin down here in West Palm at that time. No longer there. And she said, "Why don't you come and spend some time down here?" Because we were miserable up north. We were poor. We ended up in this horrible low-income apartment with one woman on one side screaming at her child horrible things, and on the other side it was always TV, whatever. And I said, "I'm going to lose my mind. I can't live here. Get me out of here." I said to Dennis, and I was pregnant with Michael, my third child. I have to count them now in my mind. I have 4. So we went to Dennis's father and asked to borrow $1,000 so we could leave. And he lent it to us. And we went down there, and Dennis started working as a security officer. And things did not go well at my cousin's house. And her Dennis and my Dennis clashed. And he didn't care for his job at all. So we got back in the car. We headed up to had a look at Bradenton. We had a cookout. And while we were there, just a little quick side note, we had a cookout on a grill at one of the beaches, Free Park. And So our hot dogs are on the grill and we're roasting them, and all of a sudden a seagull came down and took one right off the hot grill. I was so shocked. After that, I had to stand there and guard the hot dogs and shoo away the seagulls. I thought that was kind of funny. He didn't like Bradenton, and we ended up going back home. Back then, you could get a winter rental at local hotels, and it was very cheap. Everything's changed now. So we ended up in a, where did we end up? Let me think about this. Where was I when I went into labor with Michael? I was in my mother's downstairs finished basement room. All of us were living in that room. Denny, me, Denny Jr., and Rachel. And I gave birth to Michael at, I think, York Hospital in Maine, because my doctor was from Kittery at that time. God bless him, what a nice man. Anyhow, Dr. Lauder. Hi, Dr. Lauder, if you're still doing babies and stuff. So, what's wrong with me? Never mind. Florida. So that's how it all started. And then we decided to, I don't know, we were just always back and forth. Another time, we were in the Panhandle, and I'm not quite sure why or how we got there. And we met this couple who said, "Hey, you should come with us to Louisiana, and we'll take you to this pawn shop that sells these really beautiful sterling rings." They were like a filigree, and so we're following them and following. Finally, Dennis said, "Nikki, I just don't feel comfortable with this. Let's not do this." And so we told the couple. They were a really nice couple. They adjusted their lifestyle for us because we were so poor. They had money and we didn't. I wish we would have continued following them, but we were running out of money fast and we were scared. And I can't remember where we went from there, but we'd bought a lot of junk jewelry from, where was it? Rhode Island. They did a lot of manufacturing there in the 90s. And we bought a lot of that. We were trying to sell it. It wasn't going well. And I can't quite remember. I know we started into finding things through our cleaning jobs, and then we started doing the big garbage pickups before the transfer stations. Somehow or other, Dennis got the knack of antiques. We were in Virginia, and we did this little Cana, what was that? The state just above or below Virginia. We came down the mountain, and there was this Cana flea market, and Dennis had been buying from yard sales, and someone said to him, "This is Brimfield stuff. You should be doing Brimfield." So up we went to Massachusetts to do Brimfield that spring, summer, and fall. And Dennis was hot on it. He was going out and finding stuff and selling it for way too little. He wouldn't research anything. Finally, someone said to me, "This cup and saucer you sold us for $7, I've paid $50 for one like this before." And I said, "Oh, that's great. You got a really good deal. Congratulations." And then I went to Dennis and I said, "We're doing this wrong." So we started paying attention. We still made mistakes because Dennis was crazy. He would put out a price, and before the person could even answer, he'd lower the price. And his stuff was cheap as it was, but we were making money, and so he didn't care. He just wanted to keep rolling it, but we could have made a lot more money, and he never listened. I think the sleep apnea really frazzled his poor brain because it was untreated at that time, and I think he had post-traumatic stress disorder from being an abused child, a beaten child, a starved child, the black sheep of the family. God bless him. So Yeah. So then we decided, I was walking on the beach with him up in the North Beach in Rye, New Hampshire. I said, hey, what are we doing this for? Maybe we should have a little camper up here and then have something down in Florida. Let's enjoy life a little bit. So that October, we drove down to Florida. I found us a great little rental in Holiday, Florida. And it was $450 a month, everything included, furnished. It was a dump, but it was totally like 1970s in the 90s, that 60s, 70s look. And but it was clean. It had all the facilities. There was only 2 bedrooms, so Dennis and I slept in the dining room on a mattress on the floor. And we were used to roughing it. We'd been camping and we'd been living in hotel rooms and, just whatever was cheapest. He was a Rolling Stone and he did not like to gather moss, as his father said, a Rolling Stone gathers no moss. And I told Dennis I don't like moss. So, yeah, that's how he was, and I'm awful glad. There were times when I'd be like, I need to nest, I need a home, but then we'd get one for a while, and then I'd realize how boring it was, and off we'd go again. And I think that's where I'm at now. 4 walls are extremely boring. I don't like it. I knew I didn't like it when we settled down in Milo, and, I says to Bonnie, let's travel. She was like 11, 12. I says, let's go see the Orient. Let's go see this. Let's go see that. We had money. And we could have done all those things together. And Dennis was a workaholic. He just wanted to be in Florida working all winter. Then he'd come home and he'd work all summer. And that was Dennis, right? But back to Florida. And I guess I'm a Rolling Stone too. Every spring I feel that strong pull like a magnet. Come north, come north. Will I do it? The world may never know. I don't even know. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So that's how we ended up in Florida, little by little, piece by piece. And then every year after that, we'd come down. We rented that little crappy 1960s house. Then we upgraded to Arlington Woods in Hudson, Florida, and pretty much kept going there for a long, long time. Yeah. And then he got sick, and we had a different rental in Arlington Woods because, kind of go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And sometimes Dennis would come down by himself if I wanted to stay up north. And he would sleep in his van. Yep. He could wash up at the flea markets. There was a Hess station with its own big bathroom. I remember going in there when we first started going down while we were looking for places to stay. And I'd sponge bathe the kids right in front of the sink on the concrete floor. Then I'd pick it all up with paper towel and throw it away. And they'd look all clean, neat, and dressed, and we'd sneak into hotels for breakfast. Back then, they didn't have the little push cards, so I think I've been talking too long, and I'm already trying to download one video that simply will not upload. Downloaded and uploading seems to be where the glitch happens, but I should be at Maggie's soon, and hopefully I'll get that one uploaded, and this one downloaded and uploaded. Technology. All right, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for listening, and hey, we're pushing 1,500 subscribers. What the heck? I gotta think of something special for 2,000, right? Oh my. All right, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Bye.